How the heck are you, everybody? I am Fastidious. Welcome to Should You Summon? This is my weekly series in which I release a video on either Thursday or Friday evening. It used to only be Thursdays, but we've had a lot of featured banners landing on Saturdays, so it's the night before the key banner of the weekend is going live, so that's why we're doing Friday this week. So Friday evening, Saturday morning, we get Surprise Invocation of Spirits. If you do not know what this is, it is a 1+1. That means you get your first legendary hero, he's coming or she's coming or they are coming with a friend. So it's basically a pull one, get one event. It only counts, it's a one-off offer, only counts for the first legendary you pull. As always, I'm going to be breaking down this banner and answering the question, should you summon, for the 5 spending classes that I have defined, those being free to play, low spender, mid spender, dolphin, and whale. As for you Krakens, as always, of course you are summoning. What a great time to do it, if I'm being honest. I love 1+1. It is my favorite banner. So you Krakens have an absolutely amazing time doing it. And thank you so much for supporting the game. All right, guys, let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Alrighty, friends, tricky this is going to be in terms of giving advice. I believe this is the 5th Should You Summon video of the series that I've released, and there's just so many moving parts with the Frostfall Jamboree having just started, with us having 2 crazy banners coming next weekend. That's the guaranteed 250 limited summons for Gwendolyn, her 10x, as well as the 2x by 10x for Aurum and Boreas, 2 new heroes, and then of course Setram, who I'm going to go very hard for. Another thing that I don't think I've heard anyone talking about yet, we need to actually discuss this, guys. Let's look at the calendar. During the Frostfall Jamboree, we have the fantastic Alistair Fusion, the Alistair Shard Summoning event. Let me pull up that calendar right now. You can see this thing ends on New Year's Day. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's going to end on 1/1/24. How fun is that date, right? It works whether in your Europe or America, anywhere in the world, right? Whether you put day first or month first, it's going to be on 1/1. It's going to be on New Year's Day, and we're going to have a spiritual altar and arrival of heroes that weekend. That's pretty interesting, right? Like, wouldn't you say? Like, we're going to have 2 different, a summoning event and a summoning oracles trial at the same time. We don't know what's going to be on that banner. It's still holiday festivities. It's still Frostfall Jamboree. It's still a huge holiday. Granted, a secular holiday, but a really big one. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. It's going to fall right there. I presume we are going to have a juiced up banner. This is totally speculative. Do not get it twisted. But how could we not? Let's be honest, there's a slight bit of backlash against the devs. I think this is a shockingly generous event, but these banners, they're not crazy. I mean, it's not a 2x by 10x for Silas, Arrogance, and Hotsoot, right? It's a 2x by 10x for Setram, who's amazing, and then 2 new heroes that we need to learn more about. I'll tell you right now, Aurum is not going to be game-breaking. He's a cool hero, but he's not game-breaking. And then when it comes to Boreas, TBD, right? There's a lot of testing I personally have to do, and I think a lot of people have to do. So this is a long-winded way of saying, normally I'll start with like a 2-minute banner breakdown, then we go boom, boom, boom. Can't really do that this week, so I need to put out a lot of disclaimers. So you need to have this kind of, a zoomed out, see the forest for the trees, right? See the whole picture when you're evaluating for yourself personally if you should go for this banner. And let me just actually get this out of the way right now. Let me save myself some breath. So as always, surprise, there's a special lingo in this game. Special means 10x. Surprise means 1+1. Crazy means 2x. Crazy is not great, especially this weekend. We are getting a crazy buy special next weekend, right? We get a 2x buy 10x with those 3 heroes I mentioned. We get a special exclusive limited banner. This is the ultimate weekend to completely ignore this 2x banner, this crazy Invocation of Spirits and the crazy Divine Summoning. I'll tell you, the only way you should be using this, literally the only way, and I still might not even do it, is if your account is 14 days or younger. If your account is brand new and you are barren of legendaries and you're still getting tons of early game diamonds, tons of early game summons because you're clearing campaign and stuff like that, you can do it if you want. Even still, if you can hold off, if you already have other things to build, other things you're interested in, the hardest skip of all time. This 2x banner is the hardest skip. So from here on out, you will not hear me mention it. We are only discussing the 1+1 and how that might relate to what is to come. So I guess I'll break this down step by step. We're going to start, I'm going to lump together free to play and low spender. We'll do that as one section in this video. For free to play and low spender, I think this is a hard yes or a hard no depending on your situation. So what is that situation? Well, the general situation is if you can guarantee that you will hit your pity, then absolutely I think you should go for it as a free to play or low spender. Could you go for the 2x by 10x and maybe you'll get Setrum, maybe you'll get to pity and you'll get lucky and this, that, and the other. Maybe you'll get Aurum if you want him, or probably you want Boreas, right? Who knows? Maybe you should do it, but most likely that's a risk. You're not going to have so many, summons to manipulate, even if you can guarantee pity. Better, if you know you're going to hit pity as a free-to-play or low spender, go for the 1+1 and guarantee lock in that 2x rate, right? So that's why I love the 1+1, even if you go to the worst-case scenario pity. So let's just talk about pity really quickly because I've been getting a lot of questions about it recently. If we go to the pity explanation here, oh my God, where did it go? Pity timer rules. You can see it kicks in at 200, and then you get 5% increased likelihood on your legendaries for every subsequent pull. So some quick math, 5 times 20. At 220, it's a 100% guarantee. The vast majority of people will get it somewhere in like the 205 to 212 range. That's where the rates get very, very reasonable, and then it starts getting really unlikely that you keep swinging and missing. Just think of the multiplicative probabilities there. However, at 220, you're guaranteed. So absolute worst case, you're guaranteed 2 legendaries and 220 pulls. So if you're a free to play or a low spender, there's no way you have 220 pulls saved unless you've been shockingly diligent. And if that's the case, you're a very unique minority. But if you know how far you're into pity, maybe you have 40 pulls saved or 60 or 80 or 100, and you've been tracking your pity. The pity tracker is not live. People have been asking me about that a lot. The way to do it is I last pulled on this and I got Aelin, and I believe I got her at 2840. So just do some math. That means my pity will kick in at 3040, 3040, and it's guaranteed at 3060. You can just write it down. I know some people use a notes app. Some people literally use a sticky note or a piece of paper. They do have a pity timer that tracks it for you. That devs, if you're watching, add it. That is live already in Forerunner. It seems really nice. Let's add it here. I can't imagine it's so hard to move the code from... It must be in the game already, so because you have it in Forerunner. So just activate it. Let's do that. But that's how you can track it. So if you have been tracking it and you know and you can guarantee pity, you should do it, especially if you're an early or mid-game account. The chance to get 2 heroes and a limited number of pulls is way, way stronger, and it's not even a chance. It's a guarantee if you have tracked your pity. On to the rest. I guess the only way, even if I had matched my pity, that I wouldn't do it, if you were later on in the game and Setrum maybe is that third infernal DPS you need for your guild boss, or if you have Setrum and you think that A1 Setrum is going to be your ticket to get to 50k blood, if you're like a low spender, free to play, but you're very, very late towards the end game, then I say go for it, but that's a unique circumstance again. The only other reason is if you're absolutely in love with Boreas or absolutely in love with Gwendolyn and you want to take your shots there next weekend, go for it. I guess the final reason would be if you want to be very speculative, like I kind of am going to be. You see, I'm sitting on a mountain of diamonds. Thank you for the content creator rewards. I really think that New Year's banner is going to be pretty sweet. This is entirely speculative, but I've got a feeling, baby. I've got a feeling. I feel it in my bones. All right, so on to mid-spender. I think a lot of mid-spenders might be entering dolphin territory. So I define mid-spender as like that $30 to $75 range. I presume a lot of mid-spenders during the holidays might be spending a little bit more. So you got to evaluate your own thing. Basically, it comes down to the same questions, but you can be a little more liberal in your evaluations because you have a little more money on hand. I presume there'll be some pretty good deals. I'm using the word good and deal very liberally as well, because to me, all the deals are bad. I'm very out of touch, to be fair, with the pay to win stuff. But I presume they're bad values. But I also presume and I predict they're going to be a lot better like they were during Black Friday and stuff like that. So something to keep your eye out for. If you can guarantee you're going to hit pity and then also guarantee you have like 100 summons in your pocket to go on like the Aurum Setrum banner, if you want to save that for New Year's, I say absolutely go for it. If you can't guarantee you can hit the pity, I just don't think the 1+1 is worth it. I have a pretty fresh pity, right? I'm going to have to pull up to like 100. What did I do? 205 times. I'm only 15 into my new pity counter. So if I don't get lucky, I'm just not going to, Yeah, I mean, I will go to the max and I will absolutely stop, but that's because, look, I'm in a cushy content creator situation here. That's not lost on me, right? So my evaluation is going to be different than yours. I just always feel if you can't guarantee you're going to hit pity, you should always be prepared for the worst and be pleasantly delighted by the best. That is my philosophy. So mid-spender, same kind of thing, but yeah, you can be a little bit more liberal in your evaluation. Now for the probably more important thing, the Dolphins. I think whales are going to go all in on all this. Let me just get out of the way now. I guess we can break it down in a second. Dolphins, the people that probably around the holidays, normally I say Dolphins is like $75 to $250. Let's just call it an even 100 to 300. If you're going to spend that here this December, maybe you got your Christmas bonus, maybe you get some gifts, maybe you want to buy yourself some gifts in this game, power to you. Absolutely. Thanks for supporting the game. I think you could totally go for it. I think 1+1 is unbeaten, man. And I've had bad 1+1 luck, as I explained in my video. I mean, I've hit 3 1+1s, and through all of those, I've gotten Zealous, I've gotten Azor, I've gotten Regulus, I've gotten Valkyra. Then my better ones are I got Lasir, a dupe Lasir, and then my best one by far was Hex. But those 6 opportunities gave me a Hex. I got some decent things along the way, but that, you know, taking 6 bites at the apple was a lot better than taking 3. Those doubling my chances got me a Hex. And it's all about quantity and moments of opportunity to summon and hope you get what you're actually looking for. And Hex is a beast on my account. He's my number 2 damage dealer in my my Gilbus team. He is so good, and now I can start hunting for a 1 Hex, which is even better. So for me, I love 1+1. I say definitely go for it. I'll just tell you, of course, next week I have a whole video breaking down Gwendolyn even further. We'll do a guide, and I'll give my final thoughts on should you summon for her. It's going to kind of come down to, I think she's a luxury. She can be really good, but she's not going to be a necessity for, let's say, the vast majority of players. So whether you're a collector or you're just in love with this hero, then you can go for her. But otherwise, if I'm a Dolphin, I'm going in on this 1+1, I'm going in on the 2x by 10x, and I'm making sure I've saved a little bit. So if something special happens over New Year's, I'm ready. And technically, you could dip into your January budget, right? Because it's going to be January 1st. I presume we're going to get Ancients or something like that. Because look at the way it ends on Monday. Let's actually go back and look at it one more time. Let's look at that schedule. I'm quite curious if the Spiritual Altar and the Arrival of Heroes goes on to Monday. Look at that. It does. Look at that. See, the normal ones only go to Sunday. This one goes to Monday, which means there's going to be some banner that they've already planned. They plan these things in advance, right? There's some banner that will continue to Monday. Typically, Ancients run from Saturday to Monday, right? Or 1+1s. It's going to be good, guys. Like, we're going to have to see. I really hope I don't go to full pity and have to do like 200 summons to hit this 1+1. I'll do it if I have to, but I'm holding out hope. I really am. And call me crazy, but I think something special will come New Year's weekend. I really do. Finally, whales, guys. If you're a whale, this is the time to spend. You're a freaking whale, baby. Buy yourself some Christmas presents. If you're a whale, that's $250 to $1,000 a month. If I was a whale, I'd spend $300 in December. Why? I mean, at least, right? You're a whale. So I'd say go for it. Treat yourself like a kraken for 1 month. If that's get into the holiday spirit, buy yourself some gifts. I say go all in. And I will say, if you're a whale, I think you'd be crazy not to go for a 1+1. The proper whales are going for that A5 Valeria, that A3 Zealatu, right? Your A5 Silas. You're trying to get dupes on dupes on dupes. Load up that roster, load up your chances. No better time to do it than the 1+1. What I will say for whales is I do not think you should pull on this 2x, honestly. Go hard. Boreas is going to have some really crazy potential. We haven't explored it yet, but if you're a whale, you're going to want to at least make sure you get a copy of that. And you're going to want, if you don't have A1 Cetrum yet, you need A1 Cetrum. Probably you want A3 Cetrum. So that would be my take. Guys, I hope I summed that up really well. I guess let's just pull up Cetrum. Let's look at that little Robo badass. Guys, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you like this different kind of more fluid style. I really hit all my talking points, so I really hope it was helpful. I hope you appreciate that this is not as easy as past weekends have been to evaluate because we have so much stuff we know that's coming, and then other stuff like the New Year's weekend that we have to speculate about. Guys, I've been Fastidious. Thank you so much for supporting me every single day. I love this game. I love all you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with that sweet mother of yours. I'll see you guys soon.
Fastidious.